Hello everyone, this is Ronan Blue and today's topic is on the value of looking poor. It's strange to even mention that looking poor could make you rich. But if you look at a lot of the countries out there today, or the up and coming rich countries, what they are doing is saving as much money as they could to try to maximize their returns. The Chinese have grown richer, but the growth rate for the country is noticeably slowly declining, as has their savings rate due to their lifestyles becoming more expensive to maintain. There may be a direct link between the two. You'll notice the same thing with your finances. As your savings rate falls, so will the growth of your net worth. Increasing efficiency, increasing savings, and maintaining a certain lifestyle is the fastest way to build one's wealth. So by holding off on consumerism may be seen as a value in looking poor. If you want to be rich, you need to stop acting like you have money in the bank and start living beneath your means. The truly rich don't live in castles or all drive expensive cars. Being wealthy is not about how much you make, but it's about how much you save. I see some people driving expensive cars and living in lavish estates. Sure, some of them are rich, but most of them are out of their league and trying to keep up with the Joneses. When you're rich, you have a different mentality, one that doesn't evolve around money anymore. You prefer to focus on growing as a person instead of debating whether or not you've already worn a certain outfit in a particular week. In fact, millionaires are more likely to be extremely frugal. There are many factors that explain frugality among the rich. First, their parents tended to be not only frugal but well-disciplined. Most millionaires today came from middle-class backgrounds. Their parents were not wealthy but somewhat comfortable. Millionaires, when they were younger, never felt embarrassed by where they lived or the type of home they had. From a separate perspective, America is often referred to as the land of the free. But most people in this country are not really free. They are tied to debt in a treadmill existence with consumerism. So why do these people act this way? In large part, they are trying to imitate economically successful people. They take their cues from Hollywood and the advertising industry. Will they still continue to drive those fancy makes of cars knowing that the most popular car brand among millionaires is actually the Toyota? Also, for their housing, would they still crave living in a $1 million home when they find out that nearly 3 times more millionaires live in homes valued at under $300,000? But who knows, financial freedom may not be for everyone's ultimate goal, and they don't mind falling for these trappings of wealth with a nice house and a fast car. But spending money just to show off your earnings isn't going to make you rich. Our clothes and our ability to look wealthy shouldn't signify our worth. We all have much more to contribute to the world than our clothes, regardless of how much money we have. Here are some benefits for looking poor that may be interesting to know. If you don't like to be bothered by people trying to pressure sale you, you won't be bothered if you look poor. You also don't need to impress anyone as well, especially if you're financially independent. You yourself will know your worth. You also won't need to wear expensive items that make you a target to be mugged or even kidnapped for looking rich. But there are points that most of society does value in looking rich, and that's where the pressure is. Are you a fraud for wearing nice clothes? When you wear certain types of clothing, you're treated like part of an elite group of people that society tends to think automatically deserves respect. It's a brief taste of what social class privilege could feel like. But when they see you with that broken down car because all your money went to buying your clothing, it would reveal your true economic status to all who pass by. At that moment, you would probably feel like you weren't successful or hardworking, like you didn't deserve the respect of those around you. By looking rich, we're looking for the positive qualities assigned to rich people, but it only works when the non-rich don't have those qualities. It makes you look like a fraud for trying to hide your true economic circumstance. They would most likely be hateful for you pretending to be something you're not. Society always sends us messages about how to be successful. To be professional is the same as looking well off, and looking well off is the same as being competent. People who look rich are smarter and deserving of respect. People who look rich also are perceived as responsible and capable. They are seen as more extroverted, charismatic, and experienced. Those who don't look the part are assumed to be less capable, more socially awkward or reserved, and less experienced. This is probably one of the more harmful behaviors in our society. It means that the stereotype allows to ignore the potential of people, preventing those people from improving their circumstances. As an example, a teacher that wears a professional attire is perceived as more qualified and worthy of respect by their students, someone who should be taken seriously. Female teachers are often looked down on for what they look like rather than their effectiveness as educators. Male teachers are given more flexibility without sacrificing the respect from students. To look smart, you must look richer is what our society is basically telling us. What you wear or buy will determine your intelligence and wealth. It becomes easier to look the part of the rich person who is already perceived to be smarter and more educated than to spend the time actually proving it. People who look rich are given respect with the assumption that they are stable and independent. They are people we can rely on to make the right choices. Those who don't look rich are viewed as irresponsible, untrustworthy, and unintelligent. Although I've only covered a few points here, there's a lot of truth, I believe, of what's been mentioned. Most times the value of looking poor is overlooked when it could be the key to becoming financially independent just by saying no to the stereotypes of wealth. Well, tell me what you think of some of the points on the values of looking poor in the comments below. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a like and subscribe for my future content. I hope you have a great day and see you soon.